Hi, welcome to Bound to Be Vintage. I'm Carla, and today I wanted to share with you a project that was inspired by a new bundle on the Graphic Fairy Membership Premium website. If you're new to these kind of projects and you're not familiar with the Graphics Fairy website, the regular website has thousands of images, vintage images, that you can use for free. Now there's also a premium membership website where for a fee, you can be a member on that site, and every Monday there's a new bundle of graphics released around a theme. They're all kind of images and then also printables that are all pre-done for you. So a new one recently came out called Garden Party, and it just made my inner child want to come out and play. When I saw some of the images, they're with these ladies in their vintage party costumes, and I just really wanted to make some paper dolls with them. I always loved paper dolls when I was younger. So this is the project I'm going to share with you today. It's really just kind of a simple paper doll folder, kind of like the things I remember from when I was growing up. And it just started with a piece of really sturdy two-sided cardstock printed paper. I liked the colors. I thought it went well with the image, and it was nice and sturdy and had just a plain image on the inside. So what I did was I figured out what size I wanted it to be, and I knew I was going to be using some background scenes, and they printed up on 8.5 by 11 paper. So I knew my cover needed to be just a little bit larger than that because I can't print any bigger than that. So what I did was I found the center of this paper and I scored it 1/8 inch on either side of print of the center, and that gave me a 1/4 inch spine. I thought that would be good for sewing in the scenery booklet, and I just used a simple 3-hole pamphlet stitch to do that. And I left my cord on the outside. Generally I do it on the inside, but for this project I wanted a bow that I could tie a couple of charms on, and there's a little molded leaf and a pearl. The image on the front of this is not from that Garden Party package. It is another one of their images, and in Photoshop Elements I went ahead and added some script to this blank spot here so it would say Garden Party Paper Dolls. Then on the inside, I made a pocket out of vellum to put the paper dolls in. I've been making a lot of vellum pockets lately, and I found an easy way to do it is to measure what I want the width and the height to be, and then I add a 1/4 inch on the 3 sides that are going to be glued. I cut it out, and then I score a 1/4 inch in on the 3 sides that are going to be glued, fold that under, and then I can either snip the corners so I can fold it under without any bulk, or there's almost like a little square that you can cut out when you get the 2 score lines. And then the glue that I use to put it down is Glossy Accents, and I found that that really glues it down nicely without a lot showing through. So the paper dolls were just printed somewhat smaller than the original image, and all those Graphics Fairy images are really high resolution and can easily be sized up and down if you have programs like that for your computer. So I printed them out, and I only had light cardstock. So I printed it out. I glued 2 pieces of the light cardstock together. I used a brayer to really get good adhesion and just like fabric tack as my glue. And then I did the fussy cutting and cut the dolls out. So I used 3 out of the 4, and they're just really pretty. They have lots of floral details in their costumes, and they do really look like they'd be headed to a garden party. And then I decided I needed to make them stand up. Since these paper dolls don't have clothes, I wanted them to have scenery that a little girl could play with and have a background for them. So the package also has these little flower seed packets, which I thought were really lovely. So I printed those up, and I inked a lot of edges in this project with Tim Holtz Distress Ink, the Vintage Photo. That's kind of my go-to ink. I didn't do a lot of distressing because I wanted to keep it kind of clean and bright since it's a garden party, but everything with me is a little bit vintage. So to make stands, I just cut a circle out of the heavier cardstock, and I actually punched it with the 2-inch hole punch. Then I sliced it in half on my trimmer, and then I just kind of eyeballed some slots and played around until I got them to stand flat. So the dolls had one of those half circles glued to them, And then this just goes like this and fits in, and then the doll will stand up. And unfortunately, overhead, you don't have a great view of that. And I thought that the little seed packet envelope was a great place to keep those so they didn't get lost. The inside is just another scrapbook paper I had. This looks like the fancy netting on hats to me, so I thought that went well. And then the three figures that I used, they also had images on one of the printables that was 4-inch circles, and they were called coasters. So I sized them down to 2-inch circles, so again, I could use my 2-inch hole punch. Punched them out, and I just did some inking with some purple ink and a little distress ink. And I kind of made just like this ribbon banner for the 3 of those to sit on. And this paper was distressed as well. Then what you have here is the scenery booklet. And this was just 2 sheets of cardstock folded in half and cut to the right size. And when I printed my scenery images from the Graphics Fairy, I cut them in half. And I inked all the folds of the cardstock so it wouldn't be as stark white when you see where the scenes are divided. That way I could glue them down and make them fit the way that the pages fall in this. So this is one of the scenes. This was actually from the garden party. I thought that was nice. And then this is one of my absolute favorites. This is from another bundle on the premium site called Artistic Landscapes. And I love this one because the colors are so vibrant. I like this building, and then there's some little sailboats here in the background. And if I was going to go to a garden party, I'd love it to be on the water. And then last but not least, there's kind of a manor. And this is from another Graphics Fairy bundle. I thought this gave them a lot of yard to stand in front of. On the back side, I've got that paper, again, that looks like the netting. And there was another set of coasters with some of the garden images. So I just did another circle there to decorate that. I did another vellum pocket in the back. And then I found some things that could also stand up to help decorate the backgrounds. This image of this garden bench was on the Graphics Fairy regular website, and in Photoshop Elements I made it green. It was black, and I wanted more color in this, especially if I'm going to gift it to a little girl. And you can see that I just left some of the white space around it, and I've slotted it because I also want these to be able to stand up. This fun maypole image is just on the regular Graphics Fairy website. I love that. I definitely remember Mayday baskets and maypoles, dating myself a little there. And then this gazebo, I decided to make purple. Again, I thought it would be more fun for a little girl if it had some color. This is another one of the seed packets that are available. And I like this one for this because it's got a garden structure. And inside here, we've got those same little circles that have been notched and can cross. And then the slot on here can just fit down over that. Easier said than done. Oh, I'm going the wrong way, no wonder. There we go. Can go like that, and then these can stand up for the background. I hope you enjoyed this and that it gave you some inspiration, and I'll be back soon with another project. Thanks for watching.